Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's try out some Ashes of the Singularity. This is a brand new game that came out on March 31st, 2016, developed by Oxide Games and Stardock Entertainment, published by Stardock Entertainment, who you may be familiar with because of games like Sins of the Solar Empire, Galactic Civilizations franchise, also Fallen Enchantress, and recently Stardock Entertainment also published the Off-World Trading Company, developed by Mohawk Games. So, this is a very cool game that reminds me a lot of an old game that I used to play called Total Annihilation, which was made by Cave Dog. And this game is really cool though because it uses your hardware to the extreme. This is the world's first native 64-bit real-time strategy game engine, and it handles like hundreds if not thousands of units spectacularly, which is awesome. So let's just dive right into a skirmish and let's see kind of how things go, right? I'm going to just sort of explain. We'll use the beginner AI because I don't really want to have some long drawn out battle. I just want to show you the mechanics of the game and go from there. So let's dive right in. We're going to be playing as the PHC, which stands for Post-Human Coalition. We're going to be fighting against the enemy, which is the Substrate, which are sentient AI beings. I've started off by pausing the game just so we can kind of take a look around the interface a little bit. So the goal of the game is to either kill the enemy Nexus or capture enough Terranium to generate victory points and hit the goal. Once you get 1,500 in this case, Terranium, you win. This shows the overall military and economic strength, these numbers here. We're fighting against an AI bot called Haley. We currently have 3 logistics out of 100 available. We have 100 quanta, which can be used for purchasing upgrades. And we generate 2 resources, metal and radioactives. Right now we only have metal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our engineer here and build a metal extractor on these nodes to increase our metal per second. By default, they create 1 metal per second, but with an extractor, they'll create 2, which is clearly superior to 1. At the same time, we're going to queue up another engineer as well. Now, so far I've been clicking, but one of the things I love about this game is the keyboard shortcuts. They're fantastic. So you have resources, production, defenses, and orbitals, and they all QWER, and it just kind of goes in that QWERTY type format. These look like they don't have keyboard shortcuts, but all you have to do is press the tab key, and it switches from resources to production, defenses, orbitals, and you can cycle between them, which is very convenient. So we're going to go ahead and start off by making some metal deposits, and then we're going to create some factories and create some units to go kill stuff. This structure costs us 5 metal per second to build. Right now we're losing 10 per second because of that, because we're building an engineer and we're building this extractor. Now that it's done, we'll go build another one over here. Now we're only losing 9 per second because we've got this guy making us 2 metal per second, which is quite nice. Extractors don't have very many hit points. They're very easy to destroy. So you can kind of go about it 2 ways. You can try to kill the AI or the enemy's ability to generate resources or kill their ability to spend their resources. Either way is pretty successful. Now we're going to build a factory. It takes 30 seconds to build, 150 metal. Allows us to construct frigates. Okay. We can also build radioactive extractors, but we don't have the capacity to do that because this resource pile or resource node only generates metal. The game is kind of segregated into nodes, and each node produces one type of resource or another. We're gaining 1 metal per second. If we have this engineer assist, we're not going to get double bonus, I believe, but it does increase the speed. All right, let's pause the game so we can take a look at our new frigates. We have access to the Hermes, a weak radar scout frigate. All right, let's go ahead and build one of those. He's only 14 seconds. He builds very quickly. Let's get one. Then beyond that, we're going to build some brutes. Brutes come in batches of 6. They do horrible damage, but they've got good HP, and they have a little bit of damage reduction. And then archers are the primary defense, so we're going to go ahead... primary DPS. They do a lot more DPS than brutes do. We can't yet build medics, because they cost radioactives, but we will get there soon. Let's go ahead and tell this thing to repeat the queue. And we'll create a rally point like over here. Okay, we're going to bring our engineers over here. And since we have a little bit of metal in our stockpile, let's go ahead and create some advanced defenses. We'll create smarty systems. They're not really advanced defenses. I mean, they're more like frontline defenses, right? Automated defenses that don't take logistics usage. So this is the radar line. We can see enemy units. They're going to like show colored if there are enemy units. This guy has a little gun. Does 3 DPS per second. Only 160 HP, so let's pull him back. Not very strong. These are creeps that defend the node. They don't have very much HP. He's taking a little bit of damage, not much. And there's our brutes. We're going to create a control group using Control 1 and tell them to go and take that node.
Not enough metal.
We are now out of metal because we're building too many buildings at once right now and too many different units. This guy is consuming a fair bit right here. And it's okay. Maybe went a little bit overboard with the Smarty systems. Once we kill the creeps, we will start to capture the node, and we'll get our first little supply of radioactives. Here comes our first archer. He's going to come out and help out with this group over to here. We'll go ahead and set our rally point directly to that node. And let's bring these guys over now. They will heal up the army. And we'll have one of them create a radioactives extractor so we get a little bit more radioactives. They're very cheap. It only costs 50 metal. And this is them capturing the node. Once it's fully captured, then we will have this node under our control, and we'll start generating more resources. Alright, let's take the army and advance down to another node. Okay, we want to get another extractor there. We're now generating 3 radioactives per second, which allows us to build. We can build now the medics. Let's get a couple of those added to our base army. And now we have access as well to sky factories and to armories. We're going to go ahead and start off by building our very first armory, since that's really what we needed the radioactives for. We're running out of metal very quickly here, so we're going to want to come down here and immediately start to increase our metal extractor. This node is a metal node. I'm going to pause the game for a second here so I can show you on the minimap. Notice how this thing here has this little icon. That lets you know that that is like the capital node. This one here has this little icon. That's radioactives node. And then this one looks different as well. That is a metal node. So we're pre-building the metal extractors because we really want this extra 6 metal per second. One of my only complaints about the game is that you can't actually append units to an existing control group. You can't like click on a new unit, like this guy for example, and say Shift 1 to add him to control group 1. Although that would be quite nice. Instead you have to like select control group 1, add the units control 1. Which is fine. Keep on advancing. Now, we are close to even now. Let's get another defense turret here before we worry about building up the metal extractors. And let's get another defense turret over here as well. And now, the armory allows us to create the next class of ships, which are going to be cruisers. So we can build an Artemis, a long-range artillery cruiser, the Apollo, an anti-air and anti-drone cruiser, the Nemesis, an anti-Dreadnought sniper cruiser, and the heavy armored cruiser Zeus. Let's start off with a Zeus, because they're heavily armored. Hopefully they'll survive and be quite tanky for us. We're going to update our 2 rally points down to like roughly around there. And something very cool is about to happen once we get this first cruiser class ship added to our group. Now this one is even different. This is the Terinium generator. This is going to be what gives us the ability to start generating victory points. Again, we're out of metal. We should probably pause that Smarty system. Get the metal extractor. This is just going to slowly lose HP. It doesn't lose progress, but it's taking damage for not being completed. I'm tending to go a little bit crazy on defenses, especially since we're playing against the beginner AI, but automated defenses are very important because the AI is crafty. It will sneak up behind you. What we're going to do is we're going to click there and then control click down here. Sorry, go here and then shift click down here. They'll capture that node and then move on to the next move order. Stockpiling radioactives a little bit too quickly.
We have captured a generator.
Okay, got our first trinium generator. Now they move on to the next node. Almost have another extractor up and running. Almost have our defense turret there. So once you're done with that, why don't you finish this job? Oh, he already did. He just finished it. We have too many radioactives, so let's go ahead and unlock the next production cycle. We've got Sky Factory. It's going to let us make some air units. And we have our first Zeus. So we're going to add him to that control group. And now we're going to click this very cool button right here called Form Army. We could have clicked it earlier, but it doesn't really do much aside from tell them to stay together as a group. But what it's going to do is this is going to allow us to queue up units and have them automatically reinforced to this location. So we got Control Group 2, it's going to go here. And then this guy down here is going to be Control Group 1. And you can actually expand these out and see like what it's reinforcing with, or what it will reinforce to at some point. So Control Group 1 still needs one of these. And we are still capturing down here. This is captured, let's move on. And let's queue up like an Apollo and a couple of these, and let's start building some aircraft now as well. Aircraft take a lot more of the radioactives. So we've got the Hades, a ground attack bomber, the Fury, air-to-air fighter craft, and the Pan, a weak scout. This only takes metal though. We want to spend some of our radioactives. Let's create a couple Hades. But let's not build them from here. Let's build them by queuing them into an existing army. So we've got Control Group 1, which is composed of 2 brutes, 5 archers, and it's led by a Zeus. And we've got Control Group 2, led again by a Zeus, and he's got Hermes, Apollo, a bunch of other stuff in there. Let's go ahead and grab the smaller group, I guess. And we'll queue up some of these aircraft using this one. Okay, let's press F1 to grab idle workers, or idle engineers. We still have way too many radioactives. Let's go ahead and now build a quantum relay. That'll consume our radioactives pretty quickly to generate quanta. We haven't spent our initial quanta yet. We could do that. We can do a couple things. You can use it on orbital abilities like scans. So you could like scan an area. Or you can use it on things like logistics upgrades, metal storage upgrades, radioactive storage, weapon damage, unit health, things like that. We're going to start off with logistics, metal, and radioactive storage. Just so that we don't have to worry about running out of storage capacity here. I don't want to lose out on radioactives. Wastage is bad. Surprising, right? Alright, we need to unpause the game if we want units to move, don't we? Okay, so Control Group 1 has not finished capturing this. Unfortunately, I added these guys to the control group, and now they're trying to back up to join the leader, which we don't want. We want them to finish capturing that resource area there. This tiny little army is actually going to be fine because it's got the Zeus in it, which is pretty strong. He's got this amazing attack, which is fantastic at killing frigates. He's just going to move in and just swath them to death. Let's get him a couple brutes to escort him, and a whole bunch of archers. Okay, Control Group 1 can head over this way now. Once they get a little bit closer to being grouped up, then we'll turn them into an army so that they move together. But for now, I just want them to move, move freely. So Control Group 1 seems sort of weak. Well, it's not made into an army, that's why. So let's add these guys to Control Group 2. Capture this thing over here. We're about to finish our quantum relay. We have another idle worker over here. A little bit too much metal. Metal we can spend on more ground units or on more cruisers. This factory's quite busy, so we definitely need more. Let's just check, make sure that these units aren't part of any control group, and they're not, so... Control Group 1 is going here, Control Group 2 is going here. Turn them both back into armies, so we can see we've got 2,500 HP worth of units in there, 7,000 worth in this group.
We have captured a generator.
Okay, idle workers again. Let's come down here, build some defenses. First I want you to build a defense system there, then I want you to build 2 metal extractors. You, I would like to see advance down to here, and build just a bunch of defenses. So build one here, one here, one here. Okay, let's advance you to here. Let's have you head up to this way. We have no idle factories at the moment. We do still have units that are, oh, you know what's causing that? We still have this guy in repeat queue, so he's making random units that are not getting added to the individual armies. That's why they keep showing up over here. So Control Group 1 is smaller. Let's add these guys to Control Group 1. And again, form up the army. So they'll back off and they'll wait. Okay, we are generating quantum. We could use another engineer. We're spending metal. We're doing okay on radioactives. We're slowly losing. Gotta constantly expand. So far, we're still just fighting creeps. We haven't found the enemy yet, but we're about to. There goes some of the ships. Medic here. Let's add these guys. Okay, Control Group 1 is gonna finish this job, then head up to here. Control Group 2 is gonna finish this job and then head up to here. Idle Engineer is right up here, so let's go ahead and build our next factory, the Dread Launch. Constructs Dreadnoughts. The big ships. Okay, we have way too much metal. Need to make sure that we're spending that metal. Let's build a couple pans. Let's make sure that this factory is building more cruisers. We're not queuing. The problem is I'm not queuing any cruisers into the fleets, so they're not using these factories. Let's get some more Apollos. And we're still not spending enough resources. We need more factories. I do have another idle worker down here, so let's just build another factory. Control Group 2 can go there and then come to here. Control Group 1 is going to take over this node and then head over to there. Let's go ahead and out of this structure, instead of queuing into a new army, or to an existing army, we'll create a couple here, a couple Zeuses. Might not be bad to build one out of the Apollo since they build a little bit quicker. Make sure that we capture that node completely. Check for idle workers. Yep, it's already using the new factory. Excellent. We probably use another... just a whole bunch of these things. No more idle workers. Let's go back to our home and build another engineer. Dreadnought factory is almost done. The Dread Launch. Seem to be having a hard time finishing either of these two locations. I think it's because they're trying to join up with armies that are far away. But at least this guy's... yeah, there we go. We finished capturing it. This is another trinium deposit. You finish that node, then come back up to here. We have another cruiser over here available yet. There he is. Let's create this as Control Group 3, turn it into an army. Let's queue up some more of these guys, a few of those guys. Let's get a few archers added to it. Let's go with like 10 archers. This is where you got to look over here now. We could use a few brutes. We could use probably like five or six medics and a couple Hermes. Let's send these guys north. Control Group 2 should really finish up this trinium deposit, and there's the AI. So again, we're playing on beginner AI. It's not like he's going to put up much of a challenge. He's pretty stupid, right? But on any kind of higher difficulty setting, they are incredibly good. Like, they don't have to cheat, right? They don't have to use bonus resources to be strong. They're just they're everywhere. It's hard to play against the AI because the AI controls every unit, and they're very good at knowing where you may be attacking. It is a real challenge. I've had a lot of fun playing with it so far. Let's create a fourth army down here. Now, this guy, he can, because he's a larger unit, can queue up more units behind him. Let's get that going. So let's get him some brutes, some archers, a couple Hermes, and a couple medics. Let's get him some more of these guys. Let's get him a couple Hades. And we are at the logistics cap, so we need to upgrade our logistics limit again.
Quantum upgrade installed. We have captured a generator.
Would be a good idea to keep on making quantum relays. And we also need to take advantage of this Dread launch now. We can build the Hyperion, a capital ship with unsurpassed staying power. The Cronus, Siege Dreadnought, long-range, indirect fire capital ship, deadly against buildings or on defense. Capital ship capable of incredible bursts of damage against single targets, the Dreadnought Killer. So, the Hyperion beats smaller units, this guy is really good at defense, and this guy kills other Dreadnoughts. So we're obviously going to start off with the one that's good against everything else, I think. Let's try to build... We're running rapidly out of metal now. Let's see, down here, we could do this. Queue up some defenses. Find another idle engineer. Let's head over to here. Oh, those are already built, aren't they? No, they're not. Oh, I had the wrong one selected. Okay. Our armies are fairly autonomous here. Our smaller armies now trying to invade his capital. It's a very, again, this is maybe not a good example of the AI because we're playing on beginner AI, but I didn't want the video to take forever to go through the basics and kind of show off the game. I do, hopefully, want to finish our first Hyperion. And we did miss this node here. So let's grab these units. Control Group 4. Get him to head over there. One of the reasons why we're only using the smaller army instead of the big army to try to take over the capital here. Let's instead go up there. Control Group 3 has already taken over that node. It's very important that you utilize multiple control groups. You cannot win, I think, using only one.
Quantum upgrade installed.
The AI will just flank you far, far too much. So, too much metal coming in. Let's expand Control Group 4. We need to spend quite a bit of metal per second right now. Which is going to be made up of, well... A lot of these frigate-class ships are pretty big. Let's get some more Apollos. Some more Artemises. Control Group 1 is almost dead. Quantum Generator could be useful again. Well, Control Group 1 is still alive. It's got a single Artemis. We can rebuild him from scratch if we want to. When in doubt, add more of everything. So we control the whole map. Obviously, we're going to win. Let's just wait for our Dreadnought. He's almost there. We'll increase the speed a little bit. They take quite a long time to build.
You have superior terrain leverage.
They take 180 seconds, 3 minutes. Alright, come on, finish! Give me my ship! I want my ship! It's gotta be within seconds. Oh, you know what it might be? I think we might be at the cap. It's not able to finish the unit. Alright, let's upgrade our... There it is. So, Dreadnought class ships are huge. This guy on his own has 10,000 HP. Our army over here has 3,400. This army has 17,000. The third army has 9,200. But this individual ship has 10,000. And what's really cool about the Dreadnought class ships, again, you can create... They can rally units to themselves and form up armies really easily. They have massive armor, massive DPS, but they also get experience. And when they get experience, they get specialized abilities that you can customize. You can spend your experience level to like heal all of the units in their army, or give them like specialized weapons or specialized point defense. Really cool stuff. Let's wait until this guy can get over here. He's not very fast. So I suppose we'll speed the game up while we wait for him to get over there. Is it just me, or is fastest not even see that much faster? Oh, now they're definitely slowing down. Whoa, he's sinking into the ground. Alright, okay. Looks like Control Group 3's got one more node to capture up here. So clearly at this point, when you control like the entire map, your resource advantage is pretty massive. But I want to get him in there. Against the beginner AI, he's probably strong enough on his own. So, let's see. Here he comes. He's almost there. Come on, Hyperion. One of the upgrades that he can get right away at level 2 is automatic hull repair, which is kind of key with his unsurpassed staying power. I mean, look at this thing. This thing does 165 DPS per unit of Hyperion. And it says he's got 2 of them, so I'm assuming he does 2 of these. Let's just send him right up in there all on his own and see what he does. This game has fantastic multiplayer capability. Kind of has like a ladder rank type system. You can go online, you can play against other players, you can see what your score is relative to other people. Yeah, he's ripping apart their capital pretty easily. The Blossom Launcher. This is a anti-air turret. Yep, we're within 90% of the victory condition. Seems like we're not actually using our autocannons. It says enemy targets. Maybe it can only be used against units. That might be the case. But it looks like we're actually getting our victory from the Trinium. The greater ratio you control, the more points you generate. Having like a 1 Trinium generator advantage only gives you 0.5, so it's pretty small. So critical mass was reached. We won. Got some cool graphs and stuff. See resources. Again, against the beginner AI. It's not surprising that we won. But, yeah. So, that is Quantum power. I don't know. This is Ashes of the Singularity. So, I would be interested in maybe doing a campaign in this. There's a really cool tutorial as well. And as well, there's a Ascendancy Wars campaign. So, let me know what your thoughts are if we want to turn this into a full-on campaign. Of course, this video was sponsored, so that was one of the primary reasons why I was taking a look at it. But I do like the game a lot. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next episode. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.